Good morning. Let's go do some spraying. So we are heading to Berkey to spray our double crop beans down there. We'll take a good look at them, see how they're doing, but I suppose we better fuel her up before we go. Made it down here to Berkey. We're getting all of our stuff set up here. We've got about 280 acres, 275 acres of double crop beans to spray. Just using glyphosate to kill the volunteer wheat, mostly. That's what we're after. So, yeah, shouldn't be no big deal. All three of these tanks got about 2,000 gallons of water in them each. That's our rainwater that we collect off the roof of the barn there through the gutters. And yeah, works really well. So just getting everything set up. We'll get loaded up here and get our first field sprayed. Well, I got the sprayer full, but we foamed over a little bit. We must have some Liberty residue in the tank because that was the last thing we sprayed, and Liberty is super foamy. No big deal. I rinsed it once after I got done spraying, but I ran out of rinse water, so I didn't get a real good job. And it isn't going to hurt anything in these beans either, so it'll be fine. I knew it would happen eventually, you guys. All right, so we're down here to Berkey. This is our high traffic areas, right? This is the field, first field we combined wheat. We got the housing subdivision, the roundabout is down there on that corner. And as I was turning left into this field, yeah, car hit me. Turned into me while I was turning left. This could have been so much worse than it was. But, yeah. I don't really see any damage on the sprayer other than some scuff marks on the tire, which is good, I guess. I mean, I don't want damage on the sprayer, but man, holy cow. This is starting to take a while. It's been an hour. Can't do much until they decide they're done and tell me I can go. Okay, well, we've been freed to go. I got unfolded here. We had to switch nozzles, so I went ahead and did that. But let's talk about what just happened here. Okay, so I was coming south down that road, going that way, and had to make a left-hand turn into this field, into our driveway. There had been a car going northbound, but I passed it probably by that tree or something, so it was well out of the way. And then as I started to slow down to make my turn, this car decided to pass me. They said that they thought I was slowing down to let them pass. I was slowing down to turn into the field. Now, a lot of times when I'm making a left-hand turn on a piece of farm equipment, I will kind of crowd the whole center of the road so people can't pass me. That's not easy to do when there's a busy road and there's oncoming traffic. Now, there was nothing more oncoming, but one had just gone by, so I was not in the middle of the road. But that's just kind of how it went here. According to the police officers, we were both at fault because I didn't look in my mirrors and see her coming behind me and look for a turn signal. And, well, apparently the turn signals on this sprayer don't work either because I tried them and they just all flashed. They didn't work. So apparently I'm just as much as at fault as the driver that ran into me. But that's okay. I have no damage on the sprayer. Her car, pretty rough shape, but no injuries. That could have been much worse. Had that driver been going a little bit faster, you know, the sprayer would have run right over that car. Could have rolled the sprayer had it been, you know, bad enough, or been a smaller car that I could have gotten up instead of it just kind of pushed it. Once I hit, that car slid, popped the tire off the bead, and yeah, that could have been worse by a lot. So cost us an hour and a half here. Not the end of the world. She's more shaken than I am, but dang, that was not fun. So anyway, hopefully that's the end of it for me and I don't ever hear from them again, or the officer or anything. I've got an accident report number here that I can go and pull a police report if I need to, but I have no damage. I have no insurance claim, nothing. They were just as much at fault, so their insurance should take care of their cars. We should never hear from them again. I have a feeling based on me being a corporation or a farm here, that I don't know. We'll see. But I probably shouldn't have even said as much as I did until all of this is settled and done with, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's what happened. For now, though, we have some spraying to do. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. I'm getting my auto track and everything set up here. Now we are spraying glyphosate. Glyphosate is very different than Liberty or the fungicides that we have been spraying. So that's why we use different nozzles and different gallonage. So we had been using 11 gallons to the acre to spray, or I'm sorry, I'm shaking here. We had been using 15 gallons an acre to spray our fungicides, our Liberty, because we wanted very good coverage. That was more important than anything. With this, glyphosate is a systemic herbicide. It's going to kill any plants that it touches that aren't resistant, like our soybeans. And so we don't have to be quite so concerned with coverage. We just have to get some drops on everything. So we use a coarser nozzle, protects against drift a little bit more, and we can use lower gallons per acre. So we're spraying 11 because of how it mixed up for me. I got a little extra glyphosate in the tank, so I just diluted it out, or we're just going to spray a little less and we'll spray more acres with what's in the tank. It'll be fine. We'll get our rate right. Anyway, let's go. I can't really see the old sprayer passes from the wheat stubble here, so you gotta make sure your depth perception's good. Don't hit every one of these dang posts along here. There's nothing to follow. Alright, well, we're loading up again here. I'm not sure if we're gonna end up with doing 3 loads or 4. We're gonna have a lot of acres on. We could do 109 on this fill, close to it. So we'll have to do some figuring when we're done with this one, see how much more we've got left. Should have enough glyphosate there, but still a little close. Oh, let's take an opportunity to look at our double crop beans. You know, when I started this video, the idea was to come down here, look at the double crop beans, and we'll talk about how great our wheat was down here and the fact that we're doing double crop beans, and then say, oh yeah, by the way, it's time to order wheat seed. And, you know, put my sponsorship in here. But I don't think they would want to be in a video with the car accident drama from earlier. So we'll do that tomorrow. So, double crop beans, they look decent. We're starting to get up above the wheat stubble, which we cut our wheat stubble pretty high, right? Like that's every bit of 10 inches, maybe a foot tall. And so the beans are getting some height to them. And I'm starting to see a few plants that we've got some flowers on, like this one right here. We've got some flowers there. So that is good. Let me pull that one out. There's our unifoliate leaves. 1, 2, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trifoliate sets out, and we're starting to see some flowers. So these are at R1. It's the 8th of August. They've got a lot of growing to do, a long ways to go. We're going to need a late frost and some more rain, but yeah, there's decent potential out here yet. I'm not super thrilled with the way that our double crop beans look. I thought they would be a little farther along by this point and look a little bit better. But hey, it is what it is. So you can see some of the volunteer wheat out here. That's why we're spraying it, trying to get rid of that, reduce the competition on the beans. That volunteer wheat will suck moisture out of this ground real fast. There we've got a wild carrot or Queen Anne's lace, whichever way you want to call it, but that's what that big weed is there. Mostly, other than that, this bean stubble or wheat stubble, double crop bean ground is very clean. Our herbicide program from the wheat worked really, really well, and so we don't have a lot of other weeds out here, but that's good. So yeah, double crop beans are growing. They look healthy. They look pretty decent. I did see earlier when I looked at some while I was standing around waiting, I found 2 aphids, which are the first ones that I have seen. So something to keep an eye on. They don't need sprayed now. Hopefully they won't ever need sprayed, but there is that that possibility that, you know, we get some bugs in here and decide that we need to come and take care of them. I don't see any here. Nope. Anyway, yeah, they're good. They're not great. They're good. Okay, well, we were empty. I got the field over there sprayed. I got the field that we were in on the last clip sprayed, and we did 25 acres in this field. We've got 35 or so to go here, and about 65 in the one on the other side of the trees over there. So right at 100 acres to spray yet. We should be able to do that in one more load. So we're gonna head back to the farm and load up and do this and get it done. It's 1 o'clock now. I should go get some lunch, but I'd kind of like to get done spraying before I go and do that. So we'll see. I got reloaded. Decided that we can leave straight from the field here. So we went and grabbed some lunch real fast. And we're back over here finishing up this first field. We got to do one more. And then we're going to just hit the road and head back home rather than have to go back to the farm here. So we got everything buttoned up. We'll go. Let's go. We covered ground in a hurry with this sprayer. About home by now, but it happens. So a couple of things about this last field here. One, this was the last field that we harvested, and also the last field planted for double crop beans. It's where we ran out of seeds. So there's a strip over here that never got planted, and you can see what the weed pressure would be, or what this field would look like if we didn't plant any beans out here. There's some volunteer weeds, specifically where the head got, we had to cut it down low because the wheat was down. But other than that, there's not a lot of weeds out there. So the volunteer wheat is the big one. This is also the field that we windrowed that the straw got baled off of, where most of it we spread it and planted the beans real fast. This one we windrowed, let the guys come in and bale the straw off, and then we came and planted the beans. So these were planted, 3 or 4, maybe 5 days later than the first field that we sprayed here today. But they look pretty decent. It'll be interesting to see if having less residue gives us a little bit better stand and get better beans from that or not. So anyway, we're gonna not spray that for right now because I want to make sure we get all the beans sprayed. We're gonna be a little bit close on the solution here in the sprayer. So there's like 5 acres there that we're just gonna kind of leave that go until we know whether or not we have enough herbicide in the tank to cover it or not. Yeah. These beans in spots look really good, and other spots, they're a little thin. That is thin because that's the pass where the drill was, the air seeder was running out of seeds, so that's no big deal. But, yeah, we're almost done here. Okay, we are down to about 25 acres to go, and I believe there is about 25 acres worth of chemical in these 2 jugs. So we're gonna dump it in, because this is all I've got left of it. It goes on beans. I thought, what the heck, let's try some on some double crops. So this is my source from Sound Ag. This is the XC product that we sprayed on all the beans, and like I said, I had just enough for about 25 acres left. It's equal parts of both jugs here. And that's about what we got left in the field. So we're gonna go ahead and dump these in, and it's the name of the game in double crop beans is keep your costs low, right? So this obviously is costing us more than I would like to spend on double crop beans, but it's leftover product that I'm going to store till next year. I'm going to use up, and I might learn something in the process. So we're going to try it and see what happens. It's a very small test in the grand scheme of things. Done, and we're empty. I did have enough to spray that and did a pass, half a pass. I put a second shot on. That'd be fine. Okay, let's get back to Waldron. Let's see, what time is it here? Doesn't say, because the clock is covered up by the parking brake. I'll set the boom down. 2:51. Should be home right around 4 o'clock. 3:55. We made it back. We're gonna go ahead and put the sprayer inside since we are done with it for a while. Wonder if Dad's around. I think if I keep my phone out, his reaction will be less. Okay, well, we were supposed to be home by 2 o'clock, not 4 o'clock. Brock's got to go soon, so we're probably not going to hang any steel today, which is a bummer, but whatever. Dad's not in the office or around there, so he's probably out here tiling. We got a little tile project going on. I should probably go talk to him. Oh yeah, plowing some fours in. Cool. fields, like I said the other day, we've been tiling on it for years. Just a little bit at a time as we can kind of afford it, or the landlord can afford it. We don't own this farm, but decided we were going to spend a little money on some tile this year and put a few rolls in, and so we're doing another patch of it, I guess. How's it going? Good.
I found more tile that I was supposed to find.
Oh, that's good.
I couldn't find it before.
Okay. I had a little accident today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
I was loaded up and going over to Charlie's there to spray. Going down and turning into the driveway, and a car decided to pass me as I was turning.
Into the field?
Into the field.
On the south side?
Yes. So I killed an hour and a half waiting for people. And
Damaged the car?
car was in rough shape.
Really?
Didn't really do anything to the sprayer because it hit the left rear tire as I was turning, right behind their driver's side tire, and or not driver's side, their front passenger side tire.
Did you have turn signal on? No.
No.
Did you have it on after the accident?
No. Well, it is what it is. He's not upset. That's what we got insurance for, so stuff happens. Alright, let's go see what I gotta find to do around the farm here the rest of the day. My concrete over here that we poured down around this drain yesterday is all set up, so we can get our sign cut off and regrade some dirt off around it. We'll work on that. We'll get that extra sign off, smooth off this dirt around it. That'll work. It shouldn't break. Well, we didn't get back early enough to hang any steel today. Bummer. Anyway, Brock will be around next week, a couple of days. We might try and do some. I could do some of it by myself, but it's not fun. It's much easier with two people, so I'm just going to wait until Brock is here. Tomorrow, however, those are leaving at some point. I'm not sure what time. I feel like I have something else going on tomorrow that I'm supposed to remember, but I might spend some time down here doing some cleaning up of some other stuff, you know? Just time to start cleaning up a little bit. We have been checking a lot of small jobs off the list, though, recently, and that is good, including today. Brock came down here and, well, he took the weed eater to all the corn that I had growing around the bottom of the tree, and he gave it a haircut. The bur oak trees like to send new shoots out up and down the main trunk of the tree, and this just doesn't look great. So we cut a lot of that stuff off and cleaned it up. That's good. Our volunteer weed out there is dying off. Those beans look better. They were later planted and they're taller and they just look better. Is that a planter thing? Because these were planted with our 1790 versus the air seeder. It might be. I'm not sure, but they look a little better. All right, well, it has gotten hot outside and sunny, and it's not fun to be out there, and I don't have that much pressing right now anyway. So I was sitting here kind of going through the footage from earlier today, re-looking at some stuff and thinking about what happened and everything, and let's talk a little bit more about it, because I'm sure by now my comment section is filled up with how we shouldn't be allowed to have farm equipment on the road, and we should have to trailer everything everywhere, and blah, 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 how it's always the farmer's fault. Yeah, I hear you. You're wrong, but I hear you. I'm not suggesting that there was nothing I could have done here, right? Like the mirrors on that sprayer are no good. You can't see anything out of them, even if they are adjusted right, and then you drive around and they get banged out of the way, or they're never in the right spot. So the mirrors were pretty much useless to me here today. We do have a backup camera on there specifically for seeing cars coming down the road behind you, and I admittedly did not check it before I turned left into that field. It wasn't my first instinct, primary reaction to do that, and so yeah, I never saw that car until it had hit me, and I was like, well, what was that? And fortunately I was going slow. That car clearly knew that I was turning at some point and was trying to stop very quickly. Unfortunately not quickly enough, but it was very low speed when we hit each other, which is good. By the time I got the sprayer stopped, she had pushed through the side a little bit and stuff, and it was a fair bit of damage, right? But nobody got hurt. That's the good thing. It was kind of just really unfortunate circumstances. Like, I understand her point of view and trying to pass, but I wasn't slowing down to let a car around. There are times when I slow down to let cars pass me, but I always will pull off into the ditch and get as far out of the way as possible. In this case, I did not do that. I was, if anything, crowding the center line. I probably wasn't over the center line, specifically on that road, because there's bike lanes on both sides of the road, so the lanes are plenty wide when I kind of drive in the bike lane there. So I was not over the center line, and that's why she assumed I was slowing down to allow them to pass. But that wasn't really what I was doing. And it's not like she was going crazy fast. It wasn't, I'm not taking the blame because it wasn't my fault. But at the same time, I understand the decisions that were made from the car's perspective, and I get it. It's just one of those unfortunate situations where, I mean, we both were slowed down for the most part, but things happen. So there's definitely been a lot of improvements in lighting on farm machinery, even since that sprayer was made. I mean, that sprayer is 15 years old at this point, and the turn signals apparently don't work. This didn't work when we were checking them with the flashers on. They may have worked without the flashers on. But all of the lights were flashing when I tried the turn signal. And the thing with farm equipment is, right, so the flashers, we have four ways. All the amber lights flash, both sides, all the way around. But when you turn your turn signal on, for example, a left turn signal, the only thing that happens is the right side stops flashing. So a lot of times drivers don't see it anyway. Most people don't even see them. So a lot of farmers won't use their turn signals because it's more confusing than helpful. Perhaps a better approach would be to put strobe lights on all the equipment and use those as the warning indicators for just driving down the road, and then have turn signals that function as normal in addition to that maybe would alert people better. I don't know, but the lighting's not great. So attack me if you want, but it wasn't, I don't think I did anything wrong, really. And overall outcome was not nearly as bad as it could have been. Nobody got hurt. It's a little bit of damage to a car. Fortunately, it wasn't the sprayer. Fortunately, I didn't have any leaks. Nothing mechanical on the sprayer broke. Nothing in the liquid system. We didn't have any, major chemical spills, anything like that. At the end of the day, it cost me some time. And hopefully that's the end of it and we don't hear about it anymore. So thankfully, no injuries. The car can be replaced. Not a big deal. But just thought I better wrap that one up a little bit. So if you find yourself behind some farm equipment going down the road, just be mindful and know that we don't turn onto roads all the time. We turn into field entrances. And I don't want to be in that situation. None of us want to be in that situation. We don't even want to be on the road. Like, I don't want to be on the road. It is a necessary part of the job to get the equipment from field to field. I would be much happier just staying in the field. But we don't have that option, especially here in the eastern Corn Belt where we have roads and people, and we're not out west in the Dakotas or Montana where it's just fields and they just drive through the field to get to one field to the next or whatever, and there's no people on the roads even if they do have to take them. We don't have that situation here. So we do the best we can. This is the first time we've ever had a actual collision. We've had several close calls, especially with this turning left. I remember one time I was following my dad. He was in a backhoe, old backhoe, open cab backhoe, no cab on it. And we were going down the road to a field, and I was following him in a pickup. He was in the backhoe, and he started to turn left, and a car passed me to pass both of us at a high rate of speed. And had Dad not looked back and seen it, that would have been a horrible accident for both my dad and the driver of the vehicle. So they stick with us. We remember these things, and I don't want it to happen anymore. So just be mindful. Take an extra second. Make sure you assess the situation correctly. I want you to get by me as quickly as possible in almost every scenario, and I try and make it as easy as possible. So that's what it is. Anyway, I'm going home. Thanks for watching this one. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you would, please. I appreciate that. Have a great night. We'll find something to do tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. Cleaning up in the seed warehouse. I got those kegs going back. Maybe we'll jump in the 7520 and go do some mowing tomorrow. And it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow Friday? Thursday. No, tomorrow's Friday. Awesome. End of the week. Have a great night, everybody.